What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Sorry that I haven't made a video in a while. Battling this COVID-19 pandemic, epidemic, whatever you want to call it. My kids aren't in school, my son's not in daycare, like everything's like really hectic right now. So most of the time that I am at the shop, it's either really late at night like tonight, or I'm here during the day, but I'm only here for a couple hours. So I'm gonna just give you guys a couple updates of what's going on in the shop. Alright, first we're gonna start off with the all-wheel drive Civic. I was near completion with the car, but when I finished the exhaust, it was, well, not the exhaust, but when I did the downpipe, the customer wanted the full exhaust. So I started on the full exhaust on the car. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like under here. Alright, so we got a full stainless 3-inch exhaust all the way back to a Flowmaster muffler. I don't know what muffler it is, but it's the one that came with the car. This shit right here, pain in my ass. Never doing that again. So anybody else want an all-wheel drive turbo car, you getting just a hood exit or a regular downpipe on the car. Never doing that again. So I about got wrapped up with this car. Then I decided that I wanted to put some inputs as far as oil pressure and fuel pressure into his display. I'm gonna go down with the car now. I'll show y'all that. Should have worked from the top down, but silly me, I didn't do that. Would have been the smartest thing to do. But alright, so he's got a AIM Strada MXG 1.2 dash in here. Installed, wired up, got it working through the K-Pro, and it has all these readouts on here: RPM, intake air temp sensor, coolant temp sensor. It's got the map sensor right there. Right now it's just reading ambient, battery voltage, and I can put oil and fuel pressure on here, which I'm going to do. So I'm wiring that into a cluster right now. It's got some inputs, an input, like a 10-channel input thing in the back of the that noise is so annoying. It's got a 10-channel input in the back of the gauge cluster that we're going to wire those two sensors into. I also have to put this cutout on the downpipe and put like 2 to 4 clamps on it. And then I'll be down on it Monday. It's probably going to make like 500-600 horsepower just to be easy break-in tune on the motor. And then that'll pretty much be it. Alright, Aaron and I started on the S10. He had took the wire harness out of the car, and then I started wiring the car or the truck I should say, for Holly. I made this downpipe right here. We put the firewall plug in. I just got to put a couple bolts in it. I made this teardrop for it. And I'm going to be making a catch can and installing it, because it has so little space in the engine bay right now, and the customer really doesn't want to change the turbo kit. So I have to work with what I have. I need to put the turbo back together, and I also ran the fuel system too. So it's got a Magna Fuel 750 underneath the car, that's running dash 10 to the pump and then dash 8 to the rails that split to both sides of the rail with the 6 a.m. return. Also have the Holly mounted, and it's getting wired up currently right now. So it's wired in here. It's Terminator X, and I have all the wiring and stuff down here. Just got to clean up most of it. The wire harness is like hella long, and the truck is like really short and compact, so not a lot of room for me to put it in there. So, well, make the wire harness, you know, look presentable. I try to do my best. But all in all, the truck's coming together. It should be done here in the next week. I was trying to have it done in like 2 days, but between trying to get stuff for this car, and I have to order intake air temp sensor, you know, as I'm going along, I'm remembering stuff that I need for a car. I don't completely have 100% everything that I thought I would, because as I was putting the car together, realized I needed some stuff. And I don't know who put this car together before, but I guess they were trying to feed a turbo that was in the back and in the front at the same time, but this feed line is like hella long. They had it wrapped up in the fender, so I got to make this shorter. The return is actually pretty decent, but other than that, this truck's probably about wrapped up. The Evo will be on the lift this week. I just have to put his oil pan on his motor. I need to paint the oil pan and then put the valve cover on it, and then flywheel bolts are here, so I'm going to be putting this triple disc together, putting it on the trans, and then me and Aaron will put it in the car and get it running. Aaron also started on taking off the control arms, upper and lower control arms, and the spindles on this, because we're doing big brake kit on the Trans Am, and we are doing tubular up and lower control arms, changing the front springs because they're cut, and we're doing a 4 9-inch in the rear with some other like strange axles and a big brake kit in the car. This car isn't going to be primarily a drag race car. It is going to be a power touring car, I should say. So it'll have 17s all the way around on it. He'll do like some autocross stuff and drag racing. He'll get in where he can fit in whenever he drives it. So it's kind of a unique build. It's going to take longer than I expected it to, because we just keep adding stuff to the build. It was kind of like the white Civic that I did. All right, for the Hippo, I know a lot of people probably been like, yo, Phil, why you posting so much Honda shit? What happened to the Hippo? I know you didn't abandon the car. It's been sitting in the back, so what's going on with it? Well, here's what's going on with it. Somebody ended up buying the turbo, so I am going to go with an 88 96 from Huron Speed, either 88 or 85. Haven't quite decided yet. Just really want to go with something that I know is gonna work. They had an 85 on the Boosted Rooster, and you know, like, this car is pretty much like a IRS version of the Boosted Rooster. Is what I'm trying to go for. So I'm gonna get a probably like 85 for now, and then if I need to upgrade to an 88, I'll get an 88 later once I put a real motor in here. But not gonna change the motor plate. What I am gonna do is I ordered a cam spud from Alki Diggers, and we're just gonna put the mechanical fuel pump right here. I put a picture in here somewhere of how it's gonna look when it's done. But I am gonna do a video on that and how to do that. And I actually got the idea from Brian Fonder, and if you follow Turbo John, you know it's the 69 Mustang, I think it is. He just painted it, looks pretty good. Ben told me about how he had his set up, because for the longest time I was fighting with how I was gonna put the mechanical pump, because I was gonna have to either buy a new motor plate and not run an alternator, or buy a new motor plate and yeah, I was either gonna have to buy a new motor plate and low mount the pump, and not run an alternator, or I was gonna have to cut more out of this motor plate, make it weaker, not run the alternator, because I wouldn't have anywhere to put it, because I'm trying to run like F-body spacing crank pulley, harmonic bouncer, whatever y'all people call it. So that's what's going on with that. My up pipe is at DCF right now, getting polished. Shout out to my boy Joe C, hooking your boy up. I wish I can afford to get the hot side done, but you only do one thing at a time. Something on this car is gonna look nice, and by God, it's gonna be the up pipe. So another thing that may be going on is this customer right here with the Trans Am. He has a 6th gen Camaro that he bought from an auction, and he sold the motor and trans out of it, and we're thinking about LS. Well, we are going to LS swap it. It's probably going to be like a while from now before we do that. After this car is done, we're going to take on that project. But with that, that car's pretty heavy. We're keeping the IRS for now, and we're trying to do the build for his wife. So what we're going to do is, what he's trying to do is probably purchase my 400, and then once he purchases my 400, Chris has a aftermarket bell housing power glide. And since I took so much weight out of the car's pretty light, and I have a really long rear gear, and for me to put another gear in the car is going to cost me like $1,000 just for a gear that potentially could break. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to switch to a glide, and then just going to do some racing after the season opens back up this year. And then I'm going to do a triangulated 4-link in the car. There's that guy Brad Greer, he's about done with his own, so I'll be pretty interested to see what his car does with his. And or I'll do the ladder bar setup, so whichever one's easier. His triangulated 4-link actually looks pretty decent, so I might try it out. After he took the IRS stuff out from behind the car, there's so much room back there. So that's pretty much what's going on right now. That white 4-door Honda Civic is still outside. Like, it's having mad electrical issues, and I'm still trying to figure it out. And it's like I fixed one thing, and then something else comes up with it. And I have like 2K cars I have to finish. They're at my house, and a B-Series turbo car that I have to completely rebuild because the oil pump broke. I'll try to do more update videos on the S10 when I start working on it again, which is next week. And then when the cam spud comes in for the G, I'm probably going to order the turbo sometime next week. Rent's about to come up, so your boy's about to be broke again. And gonna order a turbo for the G. Heavy Flow's getting something really good. Y'all might like it. I see like some of the videos of Heavy Flow, like racing and stuff, are doing really good. So there's a race on May 3rd that's like a private testing or whatever it is, like a shootout for Hondas. We're trying to take the car there and trying to do something with it to make it faster. Y'all can probably guess what it is because you know who I am and the shit that I do by now. So I'm going trying to get that done. So I ordered all the parts are on its way for it. Hopefully it gets here by next Friday. Something I can do in a day, and it'll put out some good content for y'all, and it might be something that y'all might be interested in. So thank you for tuning in. Comment, like, share, subscribe, and have a good day.